Bam! It's time for a review. Look what has arrived. Isn't it amazing? But before we get into that, it's Spooktober, everyone. Happy Spooktober. In Spooktober here on the BAM Reviews channel, we like to do things a little bit different. We bring out the more spooky variants of toys. Now, this guy hit my doorstep, and I just couldn't resist. So this, the spookiness will have to wait a little while, but I think that's a-okay. Know what I'm saying? Here's what we got for the box here. This is number 162 in the line. See it right there, 162. Check it out. I can't believe they're up to over 160 of these bad boys in this line, but hey, here's the side. There's all the codes. This box is kind of big, so it's kind of hard to show y'all. Here's the art on this side. Check them out, man. Here's the back. Man, look at that back. Now, I kind of like this back too because this can you put some computers in the front, and this can kind of be like a gigantic computer screen if you're going to do dioramas. I might do something with this box here. Might be kind of cool. You know, you might see this on the wall in a Cobra base or something like that. Alright, just legalese and stuff on the bottom. Alright, man. Well, you know how we do it here on the old BAM Reviews channel. We're going to rip this bad boy open. I'll be back in a minute with the mid-unboxing. What in the Jaeger is this thing? Or is this a kaiju? Man, look at old Coco there. He's so excited for his new armor. Alright, first glance, man, looking at the mid-unboxing, this thing is massive. You got a bat here for scale, and Coco himself. I didn't think the vintage toy was this big compared to an actual vintage figure. I don't have one on hand, unfortunately, to show that, but this thing is quite sizable. Alright, you got the accessories all tucked away there. We're going to rip those bad boys out. In the front, in the bottom. You know, he looks a little bent here, which I'm hoping that does not cause any problems. But, hey, let's get him ripped out of the package. We'll see in a minute. Be right back. So here's all the accessories out of the bags. And as you can see here, it's quite a bit of accessories here that you got to put on. And, hey, there's no instructions. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, figure it out, kiddos. Don't you all have phones? Figure that stuff out, man. You don't need no instructions. All right, I'm going to go ahead and attach this stuff to the big boy there, and I'm going to get my bats to do it for me. Look at that bat. He is working. And we'll see what it looks like when it's done. Be right back. Bam! Check it out. All right, we got the claw on one side. We got the whole flamethrower on the other. You know what I'm saying? Could you imagine getting slammed with that flamethrower if you were a Joe, man? You'd get messed up. I got a Cobra driver here. She's about to get herself inside of there. I got some additional accessories here, some additional hands, some flamethrower effects. We're going to play around with those in the old play session later on. And, we got these tanks that go on the back, but they can't go on there while the cockpit is open. So I got them off for now. We're going to load this bad boy up. We're going to get her inside of there and see what it looks like. Be right back. There she goes. She fits in there really well. Let's go ahead and close this thing up. Let's see. There's two holes in the front here. I'm not quite sure what those two holes are for. Oh, now I know what they're for. So this comes down and connects there. This comes down and connects there. Snake danger. Look at that. That looks cool too, man. Just her hanging out of there like that. Jeez, man, I'll tell you what. This is a toy right here, man. This is a toy. All right, let's seal it. It doesn't exactly seal too well. I'm not quite sure. Oh, there it goes. Oh, yeah, there's the seal. Man, now she's sealed inside of there. She's going to bring some pain. All right. let's take a look at this thing. Now, the first thing is as far as its joints, like what you got to do here on these joint points is they're pushed all the way in the beginning, right? So this is pushed all the way in. What you got to do is pull it out. Don't be afraid to pull it out a little bit. It's a little rough there. And then see that one comes out pretty good, goes back in, comes out. Now the problem is it doesn't, I mean, I'm afraid to bend it to get a little bit of more of a dynamic pose, you know, to tilt this a little bit. I don't know, I'm afraid to do it. If y'all do it, let me know how it goes. I wonder if it's a ball joint in there so we can get more range of motion. But if you look, it's got a little bit of crazy legs going on. See the crazy? Just, I don't really like that. I wish it was a little more sturdy. Seems a bit top heavy. It has ratchets. Oh man. I don't know, man. I'm afraid to put it in more of a dynamic pose. These do bend down here. So you got the old ratchet going there. But if you can't bend this here, you can't really do too much as far as articulation. And then you got down here, you've got ratchets. So you can put them in a bit of a walking pose. Like that. I don't know. I'm not really digging this articulation in the hips here, man. I feel like it's gonna fall out. It's gonna come right out. Anyway, if you get one, let me know. Let me know what you're doing with your hips here, because from what I can tell, this bad boy is gonna be standing forever. It's never going to go into any kind of running pose or anything like that, unfortunately. It's a little loose, but I mean, it's got an imposing, you know, it's huge. It's got an imposing stature here. There's plenty of extra weapons. You see this bat here's holding one. I guess this is another attachment that goes in there. It's like a big bat. So it's fitting. The old bats are helping them out. You know what I'm saying? You've got a missile attachment. I think that can be attached in there as well. Flamethrower, which will go on to the tip there of the flamethrower. Another one. And then you've got these jet fuel packs. And I'm pretty sure that these go on the back. Right there and right there. Now, there's no instructions. So you know what I mean? Like the instructions would have helped here. Hasbro, like what are you doing, bro? Alright, it's pretty straightforward. You see like there's like a little, you know, there's a way to put it in properly. So you don't put the wrong one on the wrong side. So this one pegs in there. And then this one pegs in on the other side. Now what I don't like about this is that I can't open the cockpit with these in. You know, this cockpit will get hit here by this. So you can't open this cockpit while these are in. So which means if you're trying to get this into a nice pose, to play with it, to get the guy out, you got to take these off every time. That's kind of annoying. There's the gun. Not too shabby. Check that out. It looks like right out of Warhammer, man. That's crazy. Alright. Alright, there it is. I mean, this thing is huge. Size comparison here. Let me get an old tape measure and measure this thing up. Alright, this guy's about 12 inches. Check him out. Head to toe. About 12 inches. Now, so my initial thoughts on the snake armor is that I think it's too big. I honestly believe that it's too big. I think they should have come up with some system to where the legs of the figure could have been in these legs and it was smaller. It doesn't have to be this big. Like this isn't the snake armor to me. The snake armor was more like armor that you could put on, you know, it's an exoskeleton. It enhances your skeleton. It's not its own body. At least that's what my nostalgia is telling me. What do you all think? Do you think that this should be this large? I feel like they're stretching these things to try and hit a price point, right? And we'll talk about that in the rating. But here's the example of what I'm talking about. This is it's like a construction equipment. This is from the Alien line, the Lanyard Aliens. But you see, I've got old Snake Eyes inside of there, right? And it's not massive. You know, you could put, it doesn't have to be this large. His legs are kind of hanging off the sides here. You could do something similar with G.I. Joe Classified and give them an exoskeleton, right? This is an exoskeleton. This is something that enhances your capabilities. If you're getting inside of a cockpit like this is a whole cockpit thing you got going on. You are encased inside of this. It's not really an exoskeleton. It's like a robot. And, I always thought these things were more like exoskeletons. So, to me, I don't know. I feel like maybe it's stretched a little bit to make a certain price point. The more and more I look at this thing, I start nitpicking on certain things, right? Especially when we're dealing with a higher price range. I start looking at stuff like this here. Look at the holes there. You can clearly see. Look at that. You can see the screw holes. Why is that on this side? If you're going to be displaying this piece, why is it on this side? Why is it not on the other side that people may not see? And the same for the other side as well. You can literally see the screw holes. Yeah, I don't know. That looks kind of... we're getting into Transformers territory, right? This thing is big enough to be a Transformer. It just does not transform. And even the Transformers try to hide the holes like this. This is kind of egregious here. There's a lot of holes here. I don't know. For this price point, man, I think a little bit more should have been done in the engineering department here to prevent this kind of thing. And another thing, up here, you've got these massive, hold areas. This thing is too large. You cannot put... It would be tough. I'd have to heat up a G.I. Joe Classified's hand to fit around this. So if I wanted to have a guy hanging off the back, hanging off this thing, this is too thick. It's just too thick to do that kind of thing. And I think that's another hit there too. This was not created with play in mind. I'm pretty much certain of that at this point. I think this was created with adult collector is going to display this. And I think that's why it's a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. So if you're looking to get this for one of your little ones, for one of your kids to relive the nostalgia of G.I. Joe, you might want to skip this one. I don't think there's a lot of play features here. There's a lot of display features here. You can have this sitting in the corner in a shot. You can have the snake armor open. Someone's climbing into it, take some pictures. But outside of that, man, when you try to play with it, it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't hold up. All right, no need to go over this any further. Hey, let me give them some more points, though. Look at what was inside of that box. Look at that. For diorama purposes, man, they got small holes. So it's not too bad if you want to use this for dioramas. I like stuff like this, Hasbro. Keep doing this. I can use this in the background. That's good stuff. All right, man. Well, let's go for the rating here on this G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Snake Armor, number 162 in the line. All right, articulation and engineering. I'm going to give it a thumbs down. I really wanted to love this thing, but some of the decisions here, the inability to be able to move this properly so I can get it into different positions. It's basically a static wall. It's going to be standing here forever in the background. That's what it is. The fact that they didn't move these holes from here to the bottom, hidden, that looks bad in shots. I'm not really happy about that. The fact that I can't use these, grasp points on the side for my figures, so I can, have the figure hanging off there, that's a negative point. In the back here, the fact that I cannot open this thing without removing the fuel tanks, that's a negative point. Stand up, bro. Yeah, that's another negative point there. I cannot open this without these being taken off. I don't like that either. Yeah, just a lot of really bizarre decisions made with this one that go to show me that this is not made for play, right? This is made for display only, and that's what it's going to be good with. It's going to be good sitting there on the shelf. All right, so let's go ahead and move right along here. Next up, affordability. Now, this bad boy clocks in at $75. This is one of those things that I think the reason why they made it so large is to try to hit a higher price point. They could have done something like this, where it's an exoskeleton that just, it would be a little bit taller. It'd be like this right here, and the guy can fit inside of it, and they can charge $39.99, $45, something like that. And it enhances the figure. It's an exoskeleton. It's not a complete replacement. It's not a robot. It's not a Jaeger, which is what this, to me, is. And then your fans can army build them, right? They didn't do that. So as far as affordability here, they could have given us a figure with this. This did not come with a figure. The driver, I supplied that. I think that's negative points. There's a lot of accessories here. This thing is 12 inches, so that's going to weigh into my decision as well. But as far as affordability, I'm going to give it another thumbs down. I would wait. We're seeing right now that a lot of Hasbro Pulse exclusives are showing up on Amazon, right? This is sold out on Amazon right now, but I guarantee you they got more of these sitting around. I would wait if you're trying to get it. I bet you this thing is going to pop up on Amazon for $55 probably in time. So another thumbs down, folks. I really want to love it, but I can't. All right, overall, I think it's pretty straightforward. This is a BAM review first, man, and it's G.I. Joe classified. I'm kind of stunned. I'm sitting here. It's a thumbs down overall. I would not recommend this product. If you are a diorama guy like me and you like background stuff, it's kind of nice, but it's kind of limited even in that capability because it's so large. I feel like it could be much smaller. It doesn't really have play features. You start moving these legs here, these joints are weak. Like this thing is gonna it's so top heavy here. I feel like in time, it doesn't even have ratchets here. It doesn't. It just, I feel like this thing is gonna slowly come forward. I'm pretty disappointed with my purchase on this one, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It is what it is. Nostalgia bit me here. I probably shouldn't have bought this. Probably should have moved on. I would recommend, instead of buying this snake armor, pick up some for the 3.75 inch line. You know what I'm saying? Get some retro snake armors going on. You'll probably get more mileage for your money by doing that. This has been a BAM review. I am BAM. I review toys on YouTube such as G.I. Joe Classified, some Jaegers apparently that are going to fight some kaijus and not be an exoskeleton and actually make me really regret my purchase. But hey, what are you going to do? Motu, Transformers. I do hauls, eBay hauls, big bad toy store hauls, Hasbro Pulse hauls, as you see here. And this is just another one in the books, man. Keep your eye out there. Try to get some good value out of this one. And for now, I am BAM, and I'm out.